Hi guys, so today we're talking about parallel and perpendicular lines. So the first set of lines that I'm going to talk about are the parallel lines. So when their lines are parallel, that means that their slopes are the same. So your slope M is the same. So if you would look at it on a graph, you would see a line like I could start here and I could go up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. And if I drew in this line, it would look like that, except a little straighter, you know me. And then I can always also start here and do the same slope. So up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and drawing that line. And if you notice, it might be a little hard because they're not straight, but they will never touch each other, no matter what. So parallel lines, slopes are the same, and they'll never touch, they'll never intersect. So let's talk about how to do that when we're given 2 points. So if I'm given 2 points, let's do number 1 on your homework. So I'm given 1, 3, 2, 4. So that's my first set of points. And then I'm also given -2, 1, and -3, 0. So this is line 1, and this is line 2. So the first thing I need to do is find the slope of line 1. Remember that this is x1, y1, x2, y2, and to find the slope, I plug it into my slope formula. Which means that I really can just grab my handy dandy calculator and plug it in. So I'm going to press N over D. On top, my y2 is 4 minus my y1 is 3 over my x2 is 2 minus my x1 is 1. And I get 1. So the slope for line 1 is 1. So now we're going to do the same thing for line 2. Remember this x, y1, x2, y2. So I press N over D in my calculator, and I'm going to do 0 minus 1 on bottom, or on top, and on bottom I'm going to do -3 minus -2. If you notice when I type that in, the negative is down here, but the minus button is right there, so you need to make sure that you have those two different buttons. And when I type that in, I also get 1. So that means that these two lines are parallel. Which is what I wanted. Now let's talk about perpendicular. So we're going to do perpendicular. Let's flip this over. We're going to do perpendicular over here. So perpendicular is the kind of lines that a lot of you have already seen, and that's when they cross. So they're going to have a point where they intersect. So for example, if I had a line started right here at 0, 0, and I went just up 1 over 1, and I drew it in. And then I had a line that started, let's go right here. And I also went up 1 over 1. Nope. Those are parallel lines, remember, because they have the same slope. So these lines will never cross. But let's say I started here and I went down 2 over 1. These lines cross. Now, it's not a specific point that you actually see. It's actually some crazy fraction because I just made it up. But you can tell that these 2 points cross at some point. Remember, this line right here would not. So we know what a line looks like when it's perpendicular, but let's see what it looks like when you are given points and you have to see if it's parallel or perpendicular. So if it's parallel, we talked about the numbers that we get for m are going to be the same. If it's perpendicular, it's going to be opposite, reciprocal, which means that your slopes are going to be the opposite, and reciprocal is the same thing as flipped. So what I mean by that is, if I was given a slope that was 2, my perpendicular slope, this is the sign for perpendicular, would be negative 1 over 2, opposite and flipped. Again, let's do another example. So if I was given the slope of 3/5, my perpendicular slope would be negative 5 over 3. So when you're calculating slope and you're given one answer, we want to see if your other answer is going to be opposite and flipped. So let's try that with some points that we were given on the homework. So let's do number 6, which would be the last. Actually, let's do number 5. So you're given 4, 5, and 1, 3, and you're given 3, 7, and 5, 4. So remember, x1, y1, x2, y2. So when I plug that into the calculator, press 7 over D, my top is going to be 3 minus 5, and my bottom is going to be 1 minus 4. And when I type that in, I get 2/3. So this slope is 2/3. We would want, if it's going perpendicular, when we calculate this, we would want to do negative 3 over 2. So let's see if that's what we get. So press N over D. On top we have 4 minus 7, and on bottom we have 5 minus 3. We get negative 3 over 2. Opposite and reciprocal. These two lines are perpendicular. This is a long word, isn't it? I hope that helps with your assignment today. Let me know if you have any questions.